Lightworkers Unite is a podcast and social show hosted by intuitive women, lightworkers, and most importantly, friends, Mayuman Manjeet. Welcome to our podcast, Lightworkers Unite, where we believe there is a lightworker within all of us.
Whether you are a medium, an educator, or a nuclear medicine technologist, there is a lightworker within you, and we have work to do.
This is a safe and sacred place where lightworkers connect, grow, and learn.
And share our light with the world.
Okay, sister, we're on.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Testing,
how are you?
1, 2, 3.
I know, Mayum, your voice is a little deep.
Was that really deep?
Did COVID turn you into it?
Yes, COVID. Damn COVID. It is still messing with my sinuses and congestion, but I'm so much better. Like I feel great.
Oh,
I feel
good.
like almost 100%, like 99%.
That's awesome. Yeah, you look great.
Yeah.
You look good. You look cute.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, we're...
Look at you. You're pink and black going on. I love it.
Oh, in the background. Yeah, my pink and black.
Yeah.
I had to change it to my little chakra man or woman
I like it.
android person. Alien.
Alien. That's sweet. We got to work on the alien show that's coming up next.
Oh,
yeah. So
we got to work on
do
it.
that.
I think every oh, Jesus. I think every show has been about alien. But yes,
God,
what kind
I
of
love
structure are we going to put into that? But yes, stay tuned, everybody. We have a whole episode dedicated to aliens.
Well, it's about time. We've only been talking about it for a couple of years now. So
Yeah, I know you're all surprised by this. I know it's a shocker.
So, hi, we are here.
Hi.
We're talking about the evolution of the lightworker. Right?
Yes, exciting.
But before we do that, let's talk about what we have coming up.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Awesome. What do you got?
Little promotions, of things that you beautiful listeners can join us in. Well, I know this is, by the time this airs, it'll already have passed, but tonight is my Sacred Circle with near-death experiences. I'm super excited because I have an amazing, beautiful guest who's going to share her near-death experience. Her name's Carrie Kritzinger, and I'm so excited about that. And then I have coming up on February 22nd. I'm told I'm not supposed, it's too soon to promote something that far ahead is what I'm told by the bigwig marketing folks. Like people don't retain, 2 weeks in, you start promoting stuff so that it's top of mind. But yes, on 2/22/22 will be a very cool evening with Spirit, or messages from Spirit with me and Lisa Williams. It'll be 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and it's on Zoom. And we'll have links to register and promotions soon enough. But that's kind of like my big thing that's coming up in a few weeks, really soon.
Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, I cannot wait. It's going to be great. And you're going to do great. It's going to be
just a little nerve-wracking, yeah.
Oh, I bet. But yeah, it's you're
more
just
the technicality of it all, right? And of course, being critiqued by a very, popular, well-renowned psychic medium who's going to be co-hosting. She and I are going to double link, is what it's called, where two mediums do readings for a group. So we'll double link, and then it's going to be great. It's going to be great for my business, great for me, great practice. I'm excited. Thanks.
It's going to be awesome. Awesome. And we also have our Goddess Gathering coming up. It'll be, 2 weeks from now. We're recording on a Wednesday, which is a little off for us, but we will be doing our Goddess Gathering at 6:30 on January 26th.
26th. Yes.
Yeah. And that's going to be from 6:30 to 8:30. It'll be 2 hours with the beautiful Artemis. So we're going to be talking about focus for January. So we're going to bring in some beautiful messaging, I think, for all of us about not only how can we focus, but where in our lives we want to focus our energy. So we have a couple spots left. So you feel free to sign up for that. It's exciting.
It is. It's a great group of women, I think, coming together. I know it's different every month, and it's I just love them because it's about ceremony and ritual and honoring. It's kind of cool.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very cool.
I love it. Yeah. And the goddess energy. And that's okay. Yeah. The goddess energy is really big too. So it really, I think with all the feminine energy, it just starts to like build and build. And so
It does,
we're really psyched about that. And then I just have a couple circles coming up too in February. Well, so this will probably be in a couple weeks. February 2nd, 5:30 sessions called What's Love Got to Do with It? So we're going to be tapping into your beautiful heart chakra, which we're going to talk a little bit about how we are loving ourselves, and how we love ourselves. I saw a really great quote about that. It was something like, the way we love ourselves teaches other people how to love us.
Correct.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Ruby Kaur is her name. She's a beautiful writer. And I just thought that was just kind of a cool way to go into the circle. So just kind of for February, kind of going into beautiful Valentine's month. And then Thursday, we have a 10 a.m. session and then a 7 p.m. session. So you can always find all of that yummy, juicy, fun stuff on the website. So yes, we'd love to see you. Those are kind of our main things coming up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So excited about it. So today, like you said, we're podcasting on a Wednesday. It's very unusual for us. But we did get to meet in person on Monday. We spent 6 hours together, which was, I just have to mention, because we don't ever get to do that. And that was awesome to kind of plan out our year and what's looking ahead for Lightworkers Unite was really awesome.
Yes, we had so many fun, great, epiphanies, and just loading our calendar with fun new guests and lots of really awesome stuff. And from that great conversation, we really started talking about what became really evident kind of starting the year and getting into this whole year is really like, what is the light worker? What is the evolution of a light worker? What does it even mean? So it was really cool for me to sit with you and kind of deconstruct that word and that feeling and who are we being when we're being light workers, and it's not just a one, we're not one trick ponies, right? Light workers, there's a there's kind of a range there that I thought, I thought was really interesting the more we were talking about it. So we really wanted to share that with everybody today. Yeah.
Well, I think some people would be interested to kind of, and now obviously this is our take, and I know we're kind of tapping in and to see what our guides are saying about this. And I don't know that it's written somewhere. Maybe it is, but we didn't really go and do any research about this, but it's what we feel, where are you at in your Lightworker journey? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people who've never heard of our podcast, or I had a friend say, well, I don't even know what a Lightworker is. I've never even heard that word before. And that's true. And it's a word that I've heard for the last 20, 30 years. I don't know how or when, but it was introduced to me and I read books on it. And I thought, wow, many people today still don't know what that is. Yeah. It is one of our early on podcasts. We said, what is a light worker? And I think it's like 15, 20 minutes where I go into it. But this is about the different levels and the evolution of wanting to work in the light and who you are. So should we start with the first one?
Yes. Let's start with that.
Okay. Well, we felt, and the word light seeker is what came up for us. And the light seeker, and that could be many of you out there too, is someone that is first actually acknowledging that, wow, there's an actual connection to the divine. There's a connection within us all, and noticing and acknowledging and wanting to learn more and expand on what that is, what that means, and really tapping into their own intuition. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The seeker is kind of like opening, right? It's like an opening to new gifts, the opening of acknowledging that, oh, that, we are really connected to this really big web of connectedness and consciousness, like maybe
yes.
as a seeker, you're bumping into some resistance and you're actually seeking why. That maybe there are reasons why things are happening outside of your control that are part of the tapestry of the web of your life and your consciousness and your purpose here. So you're just kind of opening up. I think that seeking, that wanting, that drive, that interest, that like, there's more here. I just keep seeing like scratching the surface. Like, okay,
yeah.
I have gifts. I'm connecting. I'm understanding, and I want to know more. So there's a need, a desire for more.
Desire, to seek. Yeah. And so an example of someone that might be a light seeker would be someone that maybe is that one person who's watching movies and they, in the beginning of the movie, already know who done it. Right? Who's the bad guy? Who is it? It's that intuition, or it maybe someone who has very vivid ass dreams and who is consciously aware of like, oh my God, I had this crazy dream, or they notice that the dream came true, the next day or a few days. So there's that awareness, like you said, opening up, but that could be someone who's like starting to tap in with like, I have something going on with me. Yeah. And I want to seek more.
Yeah. I feel like seekers too, maybe early in their life have found like the profound psychic, I call it psychicism, but that's not a word.
Are we sure? It sounds like a word.
Make it up.
It sounds like a really cool word.
But you maybe when you were younger, you were really connected to spirit or had a lot of clairaudience. Maybe you were hearing things, but there wasn't a foundation of understanding, and so you shut that shit off, right? Like, so
that's right.
I feel like a lot of seekers out there have kind of like this feeling of really connectedness with their clairvoyancy and their knowing and all that stuff, but they've maybe turned it off out of fear. And so coming into this place of seeking is just really, it's a very powerful part, I think, of the evolution of this, of a light worker, is acknowledging that. I
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
So raise your hand if you're a light seeker, everyone.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
So let's do the next one. The next level up would be the
light worker. Yes.
Yeah, baby. Woo!
So what we kind of came up with about the light worker is, this is somebody who's really kind of learned to embrace their gifts. And they use their intuition daily. And the thing about being a light worker, which I think is really cool, is you might be accessing your intuition either consciously or subconsciously, right? And so as a light worker, you're kind of like you're doing the work, Maybe you're, a healthcare worker or a nurse, and you're using your intuition and you're really tapping into people's energy. But not really acknowledging or knowing that, just kind of doing it,
just doing it. Right. It's not like setting the intention, like, okay, I'm going to do this. It's just automatic. It's coming to you. You work in that light and
So you could be doing it consciously or subconsciously. And in my medical world, I see this a lot unconsciously. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of unconscious light workers, where they're really picking up on all of the senses and all of the signals and all of the signs for providing exquisite care for somebody, using way more than their 5 senses that are available to them, So it's just a really cool, the worker is just really just doing it, either knowing or not.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, so an example of a light worker, I would say, would be, let's say, a real estate agent. I happen to know one in the local area. She's really fabulous. And I was very honored to work with her for a year and kind of learning about her. I was helping her with a group of women that she was mentoring. And she really kind of taps into her own intuition, and she would intentionally sage houses to help them sell. I mean, she was looking at the calendar of when the retrogrades, were happening, and knowing when not to sell and all this stuff. And I just thought she was using that light worker way to enhance her life and her career. So I think, that's another form of a light worker doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the nurse, we were talking about earlier, the one that, or nuclear tech or x-ray tech, whatever, doctor, lawyer, those are professions where you're kind of reading the room outside of the dimension that we're living in, but I think the worker also kind of relies on it, for either being in service or gain, somehow, Yeah. So
cool. So raise your hand if you're a light worker.
Light worker.
Sorry. I might do that each.
I know. I love it.
Yep. Love it. I love it.
All right. Too. So what do we got next? We've got the seeker and the worker. And now what's next?
What's next is the light warrior. That was the word that we came up with, and we're like, "Ooh, that shit! Feels so good, right?" A light warrior, and so a light warrior, what we believe is someone who's really accepting, declaring, and taking full ownership of their light work ability, and someone who's really doing the work every day. So this could be a Reiki master, right?
Yes.
Well, or a psychic medium. Or I don't know if I'm a warrior stage, but someone who's really doing the work every day, acknowledging it, and also helping other light workers shine their light.
Yes. Yeah. They're the ones doing the work. Absolutely. And I agree. I feel like the difference between the worker and the warrior is they can kind of blur, right? But the warrior is declaring it. They are ready to say, it's a sense of ownership here that says, and I really felt that shift personally for me when I went from, a life coach to an intuitive life coach. Like I actually put that in the title, and it was
you to witness that.
you were helping me. You were like, man,
excuse me, but you should be calling yourself.
Why are you not doing that? And I was, but honestly, and I think this is really great, like good stuff, right? Because what stopped me from doing that, Naeem, was fear. Like I was really afraid to declare that warrior part of me, like to be the warrior, to say, you know what, fuck this shit. I am an intuitive life coach. I do it. I have been doing it. And now I'm ready to just say it. And what's really fucking crazy about that is my business grew significantly. So I know you're giggling because you're like, I saw this.
Of course.
It's just
because you got in alignment with who you truly are, and making that declaration and proclaiming it, telling the universe, this is who I am and this is what I'm doing. And so therefore they are, again, sending it right back to you.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the warrior, right? I think that's like your solar plexus. This is the warrior energy that's saying, okay, I am, like you said, in alignment. I'm sending it out to the universe. I am declaring it. It's all over my website. Like, I mean, I am being vulnerable here, especially as a science person in my other life as a CEO of scanners. It's like people are going to see this, right? And think she's a fucking loon, but
she's
I was like,
what?
Yeah. But as a warrior, you're kind of like, I'm good. I'm still me. I'm still all of those things. I'm just adding, more. And so releasing that fear, I think what's really interesting about that too is when you make that declaration and the universe gets clear, the universe goes, okay, now I see you. I understand, and then it's like, it just builds on itself. And so we start to recognize each other out in the world more too. So I think this is part of like that evolutionary process with the warrior is like, buck. You know when it's time. You know when it's time. So trust yourself, when the time comes, and you just have to say, okay, this is me. Yeah.
That's right. And that is to, using your gifts to serve the better, the world. It really is to proclaim and declare that I am going to work in the light now. And I'm aware of it. I fully embrace it and fucking psyched about it too.
Yes.
And loving it. Yeah.
Loving it. Awesome. Yes. Loving okay. It. All right.
Job.
What's next?
Okay. You go ahead. And the next one is,
Oh.
I'm going to do this one. Am I doing it right?
Yeah, she's been doing this the whole time, everybody.
It's a lightsaber.
Because this fourth evolutionary process is called the Master. So we call it the Jedi Master.
Jedi Master.
This was really fun in the coffee shop. I'm just going to say, I'm sure people are listening to us going, what the fuck are they talking about? First they're talking about light. Now they're talking about, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Master, right? These are the teachers, right? These are the light worker teachers. These are the light workers that are feeling really compelled to bring learning onto the planet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is like bringing it to the physical plane in books, maybe light workers that are connecting with animals here on the planet with us, like horse therapy, dolphin therapy, like those kinds of things, bringing the light and healing on the plane, physical plane.
Yeah. Yeah. And to other light seekers, light workers, light warriors. I felt like the light master is the teacher of a group of light warriors or a teacher of light workers to help elevate everyone who's on this planet that's here to serve and work in the light. So yes, the master, that Jedi light master that is here to really like,
I can't do it right, but
I can't do it either. I just love it. I should probably get it, play a little. Yeah, maybe I will. When I edit this, I'll add a little sound. I just have to. But it is. It just feels like such an elevation. Yeah. To be a light master. You are really, like you said, you're writing books about this shit. You're gathering and teaching courses to light workers. And you're connecting with the planet, its nature and animals, and bringing all spirit together and elevated.
Yeah. And I find with the masters too, like the more we talk about these, these journeys, right, that we go on, the more I keep seeing this master. And then the next one afterwards also it's like starseed energy. It feels very, doesn't it? Because starseeds are here for our evolution. That is what we're doing, right? That's the starseed's number one job we've made the commitment to say, hey, let's try to create some ripples of healing on the planet and create an evolution and a revolution spiritually. Right. And so this master, right, it really feels very like, hey, let's get into our bodies. Let's create some ripples. Let's create the healing. Yeah. Let's spread the word. Books. They're writers. They're
teachers. Yes, exactly. Right. Yes.
Yes. And so the last one, what do you got?
I know we have one more, guys. It just keeps going.
It was a 6-hour meeting. So we got cut a lot in.
Oh my God. We were coming up with all kinds of fun stuff, but it was, I just really felt like we were hitting something here, and it's true. I think this lightworker evolution or journey that we're all on, we hope to always expand. You keep learning, you keep growing. And so you're just not always going to stay in that light seeker mode. That's the beginning. But what we found with this, and as I add the last one, that we were using the word, we kept seeing the circle, like Manj kept seeing, I see this circle, right? This, and the evolution of the cycle of how, and it was more like a spiral. So from light seeker to light worker to light warrior to light master. And then at the top here was the light mystic, was the word that we decided best described this. Mm-hmm. But in this evolution or the journey, we realized you can always come back to being that light seeker, and or you always have it within you to learn more, to seek more information. And so that it's such a cosmic level to me, feeling when I say a light mystic. Yeah. Do you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
It's like this cosmic, divine, intergalactic, planet to planet work, light work. What do you think?
Yeah. The light worker mystic is absolutely a multi-dimensional path, right? It's like, we're not just doing work here on the planet. We are really connecting ourselves to our higher selves and really creating an ascension process, right? We're creating this really profound and deep multi-dimensional transformation. So the mystic really is kind of juggling like these dimensions, the multi-dimensional universes, the realms of geometry, the realms of sound, right? Like all of the Akasha, right? Those are the realms that as a mystic, you start saying, maybe I'm really ready to kind of tap into this a little bit more, maybe I'm ready to tap into this. Like, some of these really beautiful, like I have this really beautiful spiritual musician that I love. Her name is Snatham Kaur, and she does Indian actually kirtans, which are like prayers and mantras. But I've seen her in concert multiple times, and she is a mystic. She connects to that sound dimension, and the way her vocals, the way she plays the harmonium, it's very Indian kind of bass line. It's all based in the Sikh traditional faith. And so it's from the Bible, the Indian Granth Sahib. And so that to me is like a really powerful example of a mystic. That's somebody who's going into that dimension and saying, you know what, let me bring this from out here in this other dimension that is so powerful and healing and bring it right into your heart. And so mystics work with the dimensions and they bring it to your heart for profound healing, So it's everything, right? It's like so much. There's just, it's just a whole nother, a different kind of level. Yeah.
It is.
Is that what you're...
And so then we'd have to say, I think that's what you and I had come up with, or we felt that is a level of this light work. But do we know anyone at that level? Like who is at that light, who I would consider a light mystic, right? I might say, I don't know. I feel like Suzanne Giesemann is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with her work, but she really is. And she does refer to herself as a medium and mystic, but she takes it to a whole other level of consciousness.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing where it's like, because this is like an evolutionary process, I think we kind of jump in and out of them all the time. So I think that's part of like, I feel like my daughter's piano teacher, she's a mystic. She doesn't even maybe know it, so it's not necessarily like the most prolific or the most popular person has to be a mystic. It can be, I feel like you are a mystic many times when you're going and doing readings and contacting people from other dimensions, that's different. It's still very, very multidimensional to me, So I think it's just ownership. It's just like, where are you ready to say, oh yeah. I mean, I think I bump into the mystics the planes, especially in some of the circles that I've had, where we go into geometry and all that kind of stuff. And definitely with the Akasha, that feels very not really here, But then as soon as I say that, I'm like, I'm right back to seeking again, because I'm like, oh, I learned all this new stuff. And now I'm like, oh, fuck, there's so much stuff I don't know that I want to know. And so I think that's why we really like the spiral, like visual, is that you just keep evolving. You keep evolving. Even when you're a mystic, even when you're a master, there are times in your life where you're going to be like, I don't know anything about that. Just because you get to be a mystic doesn't mean you know everything about everything, right? Like that was what we were talking about.
Correct. No, that higher consciousness of connection.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. I see a little bit of you, and all of it, right? I'm going to call you.
I'm sitting here shaking my head. I would not consider myself that at all. But something to maybe aspire to, or something that may be in my journey ahead.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In my evolution as a light worker. Yes.
Yes.
I would want to get there, or learn. I just want to expand and learn more. And so that if that starts to become, again, we're not trying to slap labels on all this, but we thought maybe to give some clarity or guidance, or just to kind of maybe stake your claim of where you're at in your journey. And knowing that, like, that's who I am. I resonate with being a light worker. And, but yes, I can see myself heading to be a light warrior. And like we were saying, and Manjeet was saying about the spiral and jumping around and always seeking to expand and grow and be and do more to serve.
Yeah. Maybe we always say there's, in our opening, there's a light worker within you. Right. And maybe, and the way we're defining light worker is like these 5 things. So maybe all 5 are in us already.
Absolutely.
Right.
See that? Yes.
We just are walking through them, in and out of those phases all the time. And, and then what are we owning? What are we not? What are we repelling against? What are we fearful of? What are we ready to embrace? And that's why I fucking love that's called the evolution, because right, it's about you. It's about, where do you really feel like, I can get my arms around that. That feels safe. That feels good.
Yeah.
Like, I was not ready to be a warrior. I wasn't ready for that declaration for a long fucking time. I would never have done this podcast, I wasn't declaring myself as an intuitive for a very long time. I was not something I took any ownership of, So it's just really interesting. I knew it was there. I knew she was in there, that part of me. But then, it was like all of a sudden, I don't know, maybe it was the cancer that made me go, fuck it, like, what you got to lose? Like, what are you doing? Like, what a powerful way to like shake your life up, right? I don't recommend it to anybody. But
no.
What was your catalyst to be a light worker warrior? Cancer?
Oh, no. God.
That's, but it's such a fun. Is that fun to think of, like,
your journey? Or to think about your journey and where you've come from and how far you've come so far and where you're going, and the whole evolution of Manjeet, or the evolution of Mayum, and the evolution of our listeners. Like, where are you on your journey? If you're listening to this podcast and you have found us, you are already a light seeker.
Oh, word. Yes.
And most of you are probably light workers and warriors. And so, send us your tier, your level, where you are in your journey. Just shoot us that, in the comments on Podbean, or on our Instagram page. That would be awesome. So we could both respond. That's at Mayum and Manjeet. And it's also Lightworkers Unite. But find us on Instagram. And once we start promoting this podcast, put down, where are you at? Who are you?
Yeah. What are you ready to own? To me, this episode was about ownership.
Ownership.
To me,
100%.
Right. It feels like this is the evolution of the Lightworker. Where and what are you ready to own and love and get your arms around? Because there's no wrong answer here. There's no wrong. Like there have been many times in my life, I feel like I just was like, I was in full seek mode. I just wanted to keep my head down. And I was just looking. I was just working also, like just working, kind of getting in survival mode, just like working, just making money, trying to like survive, like, so that I think we all go through these phases and stages in our life where I think it's important to just acknowledge that, that there's nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with that. I 1,000% agree. And there's so many of us that we kind of start off that way, unless we have a parent who's a light worker and that shows it to us a little bit. But if not, we're still these beautiful light beings having the human experience. And so we're trying to live our best human life. And we don't know necessarily when you first start off that there is a connection, that there is that bigger power, that we actually have intuitive gifts until we dig a little deeper and go within and look at a light warrior or a light master for their teachings and to help elevate us. I think there's many people out there that don't think of themselves as even a light seeker. They are probably not even aware that they have intuitive gifts, that they have this tool belt, the same one that we were all born with, and that they can apply it to make their human life better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I think the one thing that, when I reflect on these 5, kind of evolutionary processes, I often, I kind of sometimes will be like, fuck, why did it take me so long? Like to do this, like to get to this point, why did it, God, I could have been here like a lot sooner, or there's this, sometimes I get this feeling of like, shit, like, was I wasting time, doing some of those things that, but I think this is where having these in front of me, kind of helps us understand like that there is an evolutionary process, and all of those steps, they bring you closer to where you are today. And what's happening today is bringing you closer to your future self, right? Every single moment. And reflecting on it, like, for me, like reflecting on like all the things that I should have done maybe, or I don't know, seeing these kind of really helps me understand, like, I was walking my path. I was doing what I needed to do in order to get where I needed to be. And so giving yourself some grace for that,
Yes.
In your process, right? Because your process is yours, and it's powerful, and it's perfect. It's just how it's meant to be. Yep.
Yes. It's all divine. It is divine timing.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Gosh.
That was fun.
Thank you. This was fun. Oh, God. At the same time. It is fun. I love talking about this stuff. And that's how we came up with Lightworkers Unite. We are bringing all of you together to build, to expand, to grow, to continue seeking that light journey that you're on so that you can too evolve to better serve, because that's why we're here. Yeah. Good job, Manj.
Yes. Oh, good job. You too. Oh my God. We are so funny.
I love your oh my God, it was so funny.
It was so much fun. I fucking love this stuff. I could talk about this shit all day long. I mean, this is just because it's really like we're learning too, right?
Yeah.
Like it's part of our process to like help, share our thoughts. And if you think this is a bunch of bullshit, like, let us know. Tell us what you think.
No, don't say a word. Don't just ignore us. Yeah. Don't say shit if you think we're full of shit. No, I'm serious. No. Yeah. You know what? It's not going to resonate with everybody. And that's okay, because it's not meant for them. That's just the way life goes. But I think if you're listening to us at all, it's because you are already seeking the light. You're already working in the light.
Yeah. And it's, you get to choose. You get to choose what you want to own. right? And when.
Yeah.
So that's part of that was just,
I love that because that's the beautiful part. There is no pressure. There is no right or wrong, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you just want to sit back and watch other light workers do their work and you're like, stand back in the audience, like, oh gosh, what's my gift? What do I bring to the table? What can I do? Like you might find yourself there. And that's when you can gather with other light workers to help maybe tap into that and ask your higher self, what were you here? What are you meant to do? What is your life purpose?
Yeah.
You can talk to us, join us and set up some time with us and have a discovery session with Mayu and Manjeet. And then we can really dive in and take a look at that. That would be
Yes. They're going to be coming live on our calendars soon. So you'll get 90 minutes with us and we'll both tag team and really help just do some discovery about what's going on. Where are, where's your energy? What are you ready to own? Yeah.
Where are you ready to own? I love it.
Oh, girl. Okay, man.
I love it. So
you are amazing. And we love our beautiful light workers audience.
Yes. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next podcast next week, it is Goddess Artemis.
Oh, yes, sign up.
We will be talking about, and pulling some goddess cards possibly as well, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's do it. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever they want us to do, we're going to do it.
Sounds good. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. All our love.
Bye.
Namaste.
Namaste. Mwah.